35 House of Rep members seek six-year tenure for president rotation among zones. States work on total electricity subsidy removal, new tariff. Plateau State Governor lifts curfew on Mangu local government 5 months after. And on the foreign scene, suspected rebels kill 80 persons in Congo. Hello, welcome to News Update on Trust TV. My name is Lilian Ogazi. And now to the news. A group of lawmakers in the House of Representatives are seeking alterations to the 1999 Constitution to pave the way for the rotation of the presidency among the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. They also want an amendment to the Constitution to provide for a single tenure for 6 years for the President and Governors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Speaking on behalf of the group on Monday in Abuja, the member representing Idi-Ato South, Idi-Ato North Federal Constituency, Imo State, Ikenga Oguchinyere, said if implemented, it will reduce spending and wastage, create efficiency in governance and national stability. Meanwhile, the federal government said this year's Democracy Day celebration will kick off with a symposium on Tuesday, June 11th. The symposium is billed to hold at the State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja at 9 a.m. Then by 6 p.m. on the same day, a youth conference will be held at the Ladi Kweli Hall, Abuja Continental Hotel. This is according to a statement on Sunday by the Director of Information and Public Relations, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Abdul Hakim Adeoye. The new Democracy Day was done to honor the acclaimed winner of the 1993 presidential election, the late Moshood Abiola. Governors have called on the federal government to enforce a no-meter, no-service policy for all new electricity connections in the country. The plea was outlined in the development of the National Integrated Electricity Policy and Strategy Implementation Plan Policy. Recommendations by the state governors to the federal government of power documents from the Nigerian Governors Forum. In the document, state governments highlighted the critical importance of electricity meters in bridging the significant metering gap, which is essential for the viability of sub-national markets. The state also argued that state electricity regulatory commissions should have autonomy to determine the most suitable meter technology type and form of deployment within their respective electricity markets. The document noted that the states have said they would implement different electricity tariffs in their domains. Commenting on winding down electricity subsidies, the NGF said electricity is a commodity and a product that must be paid for by customers. The state believe that electricity subsidies and other forms of financial interventions in the power sector by the federal government over the last 15 years have been inefficient and ineffective so far. Meanwhile, ahead of the September 21st governorship election in Edo State, the vice chairman of the All Progressive Congress in the state, Francis Inegbeniki, announced his resignation on Sunday. In his resignation letter dated June 8, 2024, and addressed to the leadership of the APC in Okpoji Eshon Central Local Government Area, Inegbeniki said he left because of some recent developments in the party in his local government area and state conflicts with his core principles and values. Some youth staged a protest in Akure, the Ondo state capital, on Monday against the rapid battle operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, who arrested 127 people at 2 nightclubs. The personnel of the commission on Saturday stormed the nightclubs and arrested some youth over alleged internet fraud activities. Some of those arrested included a man who was celebrating his bachelor's eve with his friends in one of the raided nightclubs. Scores of protesters converged on the capital city and chanted various solidarity songs, calling on the Anti-Graft Commission to unconditionally release those arrested. As a result of the protest, there was a traffic logjam on the popular Oba Adeshida Road and the Governor's Office Road. One of the protesters, Femi Akinremi, called on the state and federal government to investigate the EFCC's personnel's action. Now moving over to issues regarding security. In a remarkable display of bravery, troops of the Nigerian army deployed for internal security duties has successfully thwarted a kidnap attempt by a suspected terrorist group along the Ugeli-Pantani road in Delta State. The troops' swift response to a distress call resulted in the rescue of passengers who had been kidnapped while traveling in a commercial bus. The troops, upon receiving the distress calls, rapidly mobilized and confronted the terrorists, who were armed with assorted weapons. A fierce firefight ensued, compelling the terrorists to abandon their captives and flee the scene. The rescued passengers have been taken into safe custody, where they are receiving necessary care and support.
Army don't help you. If not for the help of Nigerian army, hey, come down. They have kidnapped us. Some people are missing till now. Our properties were taken. Our drivers and others are missing. We just talk. We say thank God. Along Patani Ugeli Road, there are serious armed robbers there. Fulani, we saw them clearly. They are Fulani people with guns. They pushed out some people among us. They collected our money. They did a lot of things to us. But thank God for keeping me strong and alive. And thanks also to the Nigerian soldier who came to rescue us. Some people are still missing, but we know they will see them out.
Operatives of the Imo State Police Command have arrested a 27-year-old young lady, Oluchin Zemechi, of Uzogba in the Kedru local government area of Imo State, for stabbing her partner, Kellechin Zemechi, to death. A statement released by the command spokesperson ASP Henry Okoye says when interrogated, the suspect confessed to the crime, admitting that her lover lured her into the internet fraud, aka Yahoo Yahoo. Okoye said Oluchi confessed that on June 2nd, she had a heated argument with him for failing to give her a cut of an alleged 250 million rupai fraudulently obtained from a victim in Indonesia, during which she used a kitchen knife and stabbed him on the upper part of his body. Okoye said efforts are being made to recover the alleged 250 million Indonesian rupiah for a possible return to the owner. He added that the suspect is currently undergoing an investigation at the State Criminal Investigation Department and will certainly be arraigned in court.
I'm gathering evidence for him, even video, and the work doing it. I used my money to rent a house at home instead of to leave. So before I gave him my old phone, and we started the Yahoo business. So God will not bless him. He picked money. When he picked money, he bought his new bike. That new bike. I looked him about the man change. When I asked him anything, he told me that they don't have. But then told me the reason. He said I haven't paid my price.
Meanwhile, the Akwa Ibom State Police Command has confirmed the death of a final year student shot by suspected armed robbers. It was learned that armed robbers terrorizing Akwa Ibom State Polytechnic Kodosuara school environment shot to death a final year student of Electrical Electronics Department identified as Xavier. It was gathered that the incident happened on Saturday at about 8 p.m. when the victim tried dragging his cell phone with the robbers close to where he formerly lived at Ikodubo in Ikodekbene local government area. Speaking on the incident, Police Public Relations Officer ASP Tim Fonjon said the command was working to ensure that the culprits are apprehended. The curfew imposed on the Mango local government area of Plateau State in the wake of violent attacks on communities in the area has been lifted 5 months after the stay-at-home order was issued. In a statement signed by the Director of Press and Public Affairs, Gayang Bere, said the decision to leave the order by Governor Caleb Muftuang was taken after careful consultation with the State Security Council, giving a return of normalcy to the affected communities. The decision is also to pave the way for residents in the communities to engage in agricultural and economic activities. The statement said move to encourage community leaders across the divides of faith and ethnicity to continue with strategic dialogue and nurturing trust, fostering tolerance and promoting better understanding among the people. The Nigerian government has officially launched a freight train service from APM terminals in Apapa, Lagos to Dala Inland Dry Port in Kano. Minister of Transportation Senator Ahmad Al-Kali presided over the inaugural train service at Dala Inland Dry Port in Kano. During inauguration, the minister said the flag off will open up businesses to international environment as it will make import and export much easier from northern Nigeria to the rest of the world. Al-Kali said the initiative is part of a series of activities undertaken by the Federal Ministry of Transportation to operationalize and sustain efficient rail service. This is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Coming up, mothers react to Nigerian girls trafficked to Ghana. More news when we return. Please stay. You are welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is news updates coming to you from Trust TV. Let's take a look at our headline stories again. 35 House of Rep members seek 6-year tenure for president rotation among zones. States work on total electricity subsidy removal, new tariff. Now moving on. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) has secured the conviction of one Kwadiri Adeyinka, a staff of the Nigerian Immigration Service, for committing a travelling passport fraud. A statement by the spokesperson for the Commission, AG Director of Public Enlightenment and Education, Demola Bakare, FSI, on Monday said the Commission has arraigned the convicts before Justice Jude Onwebweze of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Apo, Abuja, on a 4-count charge bordering on gratification, conferment of corrupt advantage, and cheating contrary to extant provisions of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 and the Penal Code Act. Adeyinka was said to have received the sum of 100,000 naira from Ojifia to regularize the said passport, but reneged. The victim thereafter petitioned the ICPC, which led to investigation and arraignment of the convict before the court. In his judgment, Justice Onwebweze found Adeyinka guilty on all 4 counts charged and sentenced him to 7 years each for counts 1 and 2, 5 years for count 4 and 2, and for count 3, the sentences are to run concurrently. Following the recent discovery of teenage Nigerian girls trafficked to Ghana for the purpose of prostitution, mothers in Imo State have come out to condemn the disturbing trend. Trust TV's Ajibade Praise has the details in this report.
Though the girls have been rescued and are now in safe hands at the Nigeria Embassy in Ghana, courtesy of the Diaspora Ministry, led by Abike Dabiri Erewa, who said they are expected to be ferried back to Nigeria in no distant time.
That's one Nigerian guy.
Yes, I've brought these ladies here, maltreating them, beat them, send them for prostitution and other things. So we
prostitution?
Yes. So we sent our rescue team to go for the girls. So when they went there, fortunately they were able to get all of them from the guy, and we was able to apprehend the guy who was arrested.
Parents, especially mothers who brought their minds on the matter, discouraged the act. They urge parents to be vigilant and pay keen attention to their children and never be carried away by any promise of a better life outside the shores of Nigeria, which they are not sure of.
You shouldn't allow anybody to come and tell you that I want to take your child to somewhere where she will make money for you. Once they are saying that kind of thing, please just reject it and tell them that you don't want.
I know the country is very hard and it's not really easy now. Things are really happening, but that does not give you a license for you to just release your child just like that to people.
My advice is that if you have a female child, make sure that you train that child by yourselves.
Speaking further, the mothers reiterated their call on the state and federal governments to provide better living conditions for Nigerians to mitigate the dangerous trend.
The government too is that they should try hard to provide jobs for the people so that the Nigeria will be a place of safety and love. We can come together and make it a better place.
Well, I would advise the government to provide jobs for all those upcoming girls, like 15, 16 years. Government should help us and provide jobs for them.
While they blamed the parents of the teenage girls for the negligence, they said the bulk of the blame is on the leadership of the country who failed to provide the actual dividends of democracy, a scenario that has made most youths lose hope in their motherland and are all in a haste to flee out of the country following the prevailing hardship. Ajibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
And in business, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics has revealed that exports of agricultural goods from Nigeria to other countries increased by 123% over the value recorded in the fourth quarter of 2023. The figure also represents an increase of 270% when compared to $279,064 recorded in quarter 1, 2023. The report added sesame seeds accounted for 247,000 billion naira, superior quality cocoa beans 231 billion naira, and standard quality cocoa beans with 140 billion naira. According to the MBS report on foreign trade in goods statistics for quarter 1, 2024, most of the agricultural products were exported to Asia and Europe. Now moving over to the foreign scene, at least 80 people were killed between Tuesday, May 4th and Friday, May 7th in attacks by Allied Democratic Forces rebels in the villages of the Bushwaga Madiwe group, Beni Territory, North Kivu in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The attacks mainly happened on Friday night in the villages of Masala, Mpasana and Mahini and were attributed to the ADF, according to Lieutenant Colonel Mark Huskey, an army spokesperson in Congo's North Kivu province. These rebels also killed 30 other civilians in Masao, Mzene, Kabweke and Melanis in the past 2 weeks. The assailants also stole 25 motorcycles and set fire to several houses during their incursions. Iran's Guardian Council on Sunday approved the country's hardline parliament speaker and 5 others to run in the country's June 28 presidential election, following a helicopter crash that killed President Ibrahim Raisi and 7 others. The council again barred former President Mahmoud Ahmadine, a firebrand populist known for the crackdown that followed his disputed 2009 re-election, from running. The council's decision represents the starting gun for a shortened 2-week campaign to represent Raisi, a hardline protege for Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali, once floated as a possible successor for the 85-year-old cleric. The Guardian Council also continued its streak of not accepting a woman or anyone calling for radical change to the country's governance. The most prominent candidate remains Mohammed Baga Kwalbif, a former Tehran mayor with close ties to the country's parliament's Revolutionary Guard. And now in sports, Super Eagles head coach Finidi George has said it is important for his side to secure maximum points against Benin Republic on Monday. The Super Eagles have endured a shuddering start to the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. The former African champions battled 1-1 against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa on Friday. It was their third consecutive draw in the qualifiers. The result also leaves the Super Eagles in 5th position in the Group C with 3 points from 3 games. Finidi said they will give their all against Gernot Rohr's men. Still in sports, the Week 35 Nigerian Professional Football League (NPFL) match between Rangers International and Enyimba FC was on Sunday abandoned in added time following a controversial penalty. The Oriental Derby at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium was a little decider, with Rangers topping the league standing with 60 points and Enyimba trailing them by 2 points. Fans had tripped out en masse for the fiercely contested encounter, which lived up to its billing until the unpleasant scenes at the end. Following a pulsating 90 minutes with the game tied goalies, Rangers were awarded a penalty 7 minutes into added time for a foul that prevented his attacker from pouncing on a loose ball in the box, prompting protests from Enyimba players who confronted the referee. However, the incident took another dimension when fans invaded the pitch, prompting Enyimba's players to walk off it. It remains unclear which fans encroached on the pitch, but efforts to resume play proved abortive as the match was abandoned. The NPFL has yet to comment on the incidents. With that, we've come to the end of news update here on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms for more news programs and documentaries. Thanks for watching. I am Lilian Ogazi. Bye for now.